Hey guys, Mr. Lloyd here. Going to work with you today on Thursday, May 21st. We're going to be working on this video. We're going to be working on our challenge problem for the day. So the challenge problem that we see here gives us a list of dates all about the school closure related to COVID-19. And our job is to use these dates, order them in such a way that we can create a nice timeline. And we're going to calculate the median and the first and third quartiles of this timeline of this set of dates. So to show you the work, I'm going to show you the page I did my work on. It looks like this. I'm pulling it up. So it didn't have a lot of space in the margin there to do this, so a little extra sheet of paper always helps. So I've listed on my paper, I've just listed the same dates here. I didn't include the descriptions just to keep it brief, but all of these are important dates that relate to our school closure. Just something to think about. We're going to turn these into a timeline in just a second. When I list them, the nice thing is that I'm listing them from most recent to least recent, so they're ordered. And so because they're ordered, I can immediately find the median. They go from largest to smallest. And so the median date is right in between. There are 6 dates, so the median is found halfway in between these 2 dates, which is March 30th and March 26th. The halfway point there would be March 28th. So that's our median. A couple other things I note here. There are just 6 dates. That's just something I said. And then the range from April 22nd to March 16th is 37 days. That's just some data that might be useful, but for the purposes of today's work, we don't really need the range. I just did it just as a way to kind of organize my thinking, set myself up, make sure I'm on the right track. So when I go to create a timeline, always remember that a timeline starts on the left. It's kind of like a number line. On the left-hand side, you have your lowest values. On the right-hand side, you have your highest values. So when we're looking at dates, we're looking at the oldest on the left to the most recent on the right. And so the oldest would be March 16th. And then I just do my best here as I'm creating this timeline to keep my gaps equivalent. So for example, March 16th to March 24th, I know that's 8 days, right? And then March 24th to March 26th, I know that's only 2 days. So my goal is to make this distance really about 1/4 of this bigger distance here that I created first. And then my next date that I mark, so from March 26th to March 30th, that's 4 days, so that mark should be about twice as large as this initial mark. Here from March 30th to April 7th, that's 8 days again. March has 31 days. So I would try to keep this interval equivalent to this interval. And again, it's just a hand drawing, so I didn't get a ruler out and measure this stuff out precisely. I'm not going to be grading on whether or not you got your intervals just so, but it does help when you're making a timeline to create evenly spaced intervals like this. And the last one here is 15 days, so it's the biggest interval there. Should be about twice the size of this interval. Okay, so I already calculated my median up here, so now I just use that same green marker to mark it. It's exactly in between 24 and 20. No, I'm sorry. It's exactly between 26th and 30th. I almost confused myself there. So exactly in between, it's March 28th. And then I need to think about my quartiles. So I need to think, I can come up here to my list if this is a little easier to read, and I want to think about which of these dates would mark, would I have an evenly spaced left-hand side and an evenly spaced right-hand side. And of course, for the first quartile, it would just be for the first quartile, it would be March 24th, because there's one date to the right of that quartile, one date to the left, and then there's the median. And then similarly over here, the third quartile would be April 7th, because there's one date to the left, one date to the right. And so we're looking at it down here on the timeline, first quartile over here, March 24th. So there's one date to the left, one date to the right. Third quartile, April 7th, one date to the right, one date or data point to the left. So there are quartiles, and then my last thing I did is just list them for clarity. So there you have it. So that was all we had to do, just kind of putting together all the tools we've learned about statistics over the past couple of weeks. We used concepts of mean and quartiles today to create a timeline about our school closure related to COVID-19. you're going to be getting a ton of practice with this through in your middle school math in 7th and 8th grade. So this will not be the last time you see this. You'll get tons of practice with it next year. There's also some great work on IXL for these skills as well. It's really, really helpful, and they walk you through a lot of these same concepts, give you some great examples as well. So I'd encourage you to keep up that practice, especially as we have these last couple of weeks with just a big project and not our daily math. But so use the tools you have. Keep these questions coming to me as well through all of the different mediums: YouTube comments, Google Classroom, Remind, text message, phone call, email. Lots of different ways to be in touch. Keep working hard out there, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.